In the world of amateur golf, earning an invitation to play in a major is coveted. To get there takes skill, a lot of guts, and even a little bit of luck. The Latin America Amateur Championship is one of the few premier events that, with a win, paves the way to the pinnacle of golf, a major. It's here at Pete Dye's Teeth of the Dog that a major invitation is hanging in the balance. Meticulously hand-carved from rugged rock and coral of the Dominican Republic coastline, this #1 course in the Caribbean is a tropical playground that has plenty of bite. It's the ultimate test for over 100 of the best amateurs in Latin America. Life-changing for the champion and a major stepping stone into this year's majors. The Masters Tournament, in partnership with the R&A and USGA, proudly presents the 2022 Latin America Amateur Championship. It's so good to be at Casa de Campo Dominican Playground with so much to do, or nothing at all. Nice to just stare at the different shades of Caribbean blue. For the contenders in this final round of the 7th playing of the Latin America Amateur, there is quite a bit to deal with before they can relax. Teeth of the Dog, one of Pete Dye's most famous creations, #1 in the Caribbean. Well, it is as demanding as it is drop-dead beautiful. 7 seaside holes, none more than 20 feet above the surf. Kind of track where the ocean spray flies above a tee box as you're playing. All you want in a championship test, especially with all that's riding this afternoon for these elite Latin amateurs. Rich Lerner pleased to be alongside two-time U.S. Open champion Andy North. Dottie Pepper with 17 wins, 2 majors. Colt Knost, former U.S. amateur champion, and the one and only John Sutcliffe with interviews and his unique perspective. All right, Andy, highlights here early in this final round. The 54-hole leader from Puerto Rico, Roberto Nieves, here at the second.
Yes, and the second is a par 5 that all the players in the field can get it up around the green, if not on the green. Beautiful little pitch. That got him to 8 under.
So Nieves now at the 4th tee.
The 4th hole, playing the longest it has all week long at 190 yards. Literally no breeze blowing at all. Tough hole location in that middle left. You cannot afford to miss it left, and what a shot he plays. Knocks that putt in. That gets him to 9 under, and he was 2 ahead at that point.
Yeah, putting a little pressure on a guy alongside whom he's playing, Fred Biondi of Brazil, junior at the University of Florida, and Biondi responds.
Well, he has really played a stretch of holes yesterday in the beginning of the 4th round. Just amazing golf. 11 birdies in a stretch of 23 holes.
And Biondi birdied 3 of his first 5 in this final round. Keep an eye on this man, Mateo Fernandez de Oliveira, and the caddy. Yes! So the Argentine, who's the highest ranked player in this field at 38 out of the University of Arkansas, is making his move. And back to Nieves at the 5th. This
thought
disaster.
In a position where you get it up and in for birdie, catches it thin out of the bunker, it goes out of bounds. Then from there he replayed, hit it over the green and got it up and in just to save a double bogey 7.
Would also make a bogey at the 10th hole. Meanwhile, Biondi.
He's got tons of confidence. It looks like he's been so patient all week long. Doesn't seem to be forcing the issue at all. He is in control right now.
And a lot of good golf in the last 7-8 months. He won the Florida State Amateur and has been highly competitive, part of that standout team under J.C. Deacon at the University of Florida. And here is the championship leader at the par 5 12th, which has been a nightmare for some players. Second shot.
Huge tee shot, left him just 182 on a day that is completely different than the other 3 in the championship. Humidity's up, cloud cover's up, and the wind, what little there is from the opposite direction.
Dottie Pepper is with this final 3 ball. And here it is. Nieves 435th in the World Amateur Golf Rankings, but he has been improving dramatically in the last year or so. He's actually going to become a graduate transfer at Pepperdine coming up early 2022. Biondi, and then from Argentina, Vicente Marcilio in his first Latin America amateur appearance.
I think there's a big advantage for a guy like Biondi, who's played here now 4 times. He understands what event's all about. He's had a couple of nice top 5 finishes, and that, I think, will bode well playing these last 6 or 7 holes, that experience.
Andy, he started 70-75. He was 10 off the lead after 36 holes. Now, De Oliveira for birdie here at the 14th, and Colt is there.
Coming off a short miss at 13. This from 30 feet, breaking left. What an effort.
He's fresh off his win last week in Ecuador at the South American Amateur Championship.
What a difference playing at 10,000 feet in Ecuador and then coming here and playing at sea level.
Tactical, smart player. Now from Mexico, Santiago de la Fuente plays a Division II golf. Arkansas Tech. They won the D2 National Championship. He's a kid from a small town, 50 miles or so outside of Guadalajara. Set the course record at Guadalajara Country Club, home to the great Lorena Ochoa.
Beautiful little golf course from downtown Mexico City. Coming out of this right-hand rough, got to be careful. Hole's cut in the middle left portion of this green.
Solid, sensible play right there, Andy.
Yeah, anything a little bit left is still very doable. You cannot miss it to the right.
And this was the shot that proved to be the undoing yesterday for Gallegos and to an extent Julian Perico. This is Vicente Marcilio.
Much more doable though today. More green to work with. Again, the humidity's up. The golf course is holding a little bit of moisture, and the wind isn't buzzing in your ears either. Needs to settle.
Yeah, Dottie, there's so much room now with the hole cut in the back portion of the green. Yesterday was right on the front, and the guys just kept trying to get it close, and it'd come right back down the hill.
Well, they tried to hit perfect golf shots when anywhere on the putting surface would have been just fine.
And now Nieves.
This was after a mishit second from 202, dead center of the fairway. It's an area that looks a bit soft. It's been raked up.
And it's a long enough bunker shot. He should be able to control the spin on it.
Agreed. This is something you want maybe a 56 or even 54 degree wedge in your hand. Don't need to go for 60.
It's very fortunate that one just got on the green. A bit shorter, and it comes right back down the hill again. Well, this is a hole we've seen eagles, we've seen quads, and everything in between. I think it's a great example of a marvelous short par 5 without any out of bounds, without any water hazards. It's just there for you, and it is tough. A little easier bunker shot here, Dot.
That 60 degree wedge in the bag, very simple. This is one you practice all the time. Nicely done.
Just raced out a little bit. He's probably going to have 8-9 feet for birdie.
So at the start, we had 103 players from 29 countries and territories across the region. And currently 7 countries and territories represented inside the top 10. And keep in mind, no winner has come into this final round outside of the top 5. And right now, it is Biondi leading by 2. Great initiative now in its 7th playing. Began in 2015 back at Pilar in Argentina outside of Buenos Aires in hopes of elevating the game across the region in the same way that the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship has done in that part of the world. And now Nieves, interesting, Dottie. I chatted with his countryman Geronimo Esteves. Geronimo was having a good tournament, 40 years old. He's 13. He told me that he was paired with Roberto at the Miami Beach International Amateur, and Geronimo noticed that Roberto's father was walking with the group. Turned out that he's Puerto Rican. Roberto does not speak a lick of Spanish, so Geronimo asked him, "Is your dad Puerto Rican?" He said, "Yeah." So, well, you got to come play for the Puerto Rico national team, and here he is.
That was a wise invite, I think.
They have some really good junior players on the rise. Andres Aranguren, sophomore at the University of Houston, and a couple of others. And now from Argentina, De Oliveira at 15.
Hit it through the fairway. The worst lie I've seen all week. This from 194. This looks pretty good.
Boy, did he play that beautifully, Cole. Chasing it all the way up, landed it, 30, 40 yards short of the green.
Fantastic. I thought he had to play out short right, and he got it behind the hole.
Back at 13, and De La Fuente.
This is a putt that really has fooled the players through the course of the week. They think it's going to break from the back of the green toward the front, but there's enough pull from the ocean. It keeps it very straight.
His coach at Arkansas Tech, Luke Terra, called Santiago the team comedian, but also the hardest working guy on the squad. Now, Vicente Marcilio is to get to 6 under.
Continues to fidget over the putter. It does not look comfortable. 3 putted at the last.
He is 3 back right now. He needs to make this. That was more of hoping it goes in instead of knocking it in.
That's kind of the feel I got when I was watching him. Not a lot of make it happen in there right now.
Only bogey of the day was that 3 putt back at the 11th.
And now Biondi. Wow. And that'll be just a par at the 12th.
And hitting a couple of good shots, just barely missing the green. If you get that second shot on the green, all of a sudden it turns into an easy birdie, maybe an eagle. You miss this green, and you really have to work hard to get that birdie. But he is too clear of the field at this moment.
Still in it, Nieves. Well, this championship would not have been possible without the support of the 3 major organizations. It is their constant mission to give back and create heroes in every region of the world. This year marks the 7th staging of the Latin America Amateur Championship. And for the founding partners, the 2022 edition charts another step forward in their continued aim to elevate the game in South America, Central America, Mexico, and the Caribbean.
We had created quite a bit of momentum with this championship. Having to cancel it last year was something that was a tough decision, but it was the right decision to do. That momentum really is something that I think could have been jeopardized had we not been able to have the championship this year, so it was very important that we get it back on the schedule.
This is about creating a stage. It's about creating dreams, for young kids that can believe. And when somebody asked me earlier, what's different about this week than where they may have played in the last couple of weeks? I said, the world's watching this week. We can't take any more time off. It's time to get back on stage. It's time to let these dreams flourish again.
This championship continues to elevate the sport across the world in this region. What are the biggest signs of progress in Latin America that stand out to you, and how do you see this championship continuing to support the game's development here?
A proof of real success is there's now 4 winners on the PGA Tour from Latin America. 3 of them played in this event. And what great credit for the region to have had 4 winners. And I think one of the other interesting pieces of this, which I look at with some surprise and pride, is 7 events. Chile's won it 3 times. Who would have expected that when you started out 7 years ago? That is a fantastic opportunity.
There are a number of metrics that we look at, and some that have been very encouraging. I mean, certainly the quality of the field every year gets better. We have several players in the top 100 of the World Amateur Golf Rankings. And then, just the fact that we have so many players playing collegiate golf in the United States now. I think a third of the field is playing collegiate golf. So I think those are all indicators that it's making a difference.
This is an example of what golf can be when it's together. What we should really be proud of is that we're working together like we've never have in 100 years, and that's creating real opportunities that didn't exist before.
Winner this week earns an invitation to the Masters, which, as we know, has a storied tradition linking to the amateur game. Great Bobby Jones. Just wonder if you could speak to that tradition.
Bobby Jones, the greatest amateur of all time, certainly was an inspiration for everything we do at Augusta National. And because of our history and heritage with amateur golf, we felt that that was where we should focus. At first in Asia, then in Latin America, and then with the Augusta National Women's Amateur. All, we hope, creating excitement for these young players and opportunities to show their skills on the world stage.
So the fulfillment of a dream would be for any golfer, especially one that aspires to play at the higher levels, would be to play an Open. How much more special is that opportunity that will come to the winner of the Latin America Amateur Championship this coming year?
The 150th is going to be a very special week. And when you look in sport, there's not many sporting events that reach that 150th playing. We're very conscious that back in 1859, the best golfer in the world was Allen Robinson. And when Allen Robinson died, a group of golfers got together and said, how do we identify the champion golfer? And they set up with a series of values of openness and ability, and they created that. And the 150th playing later, we will hopefully be putting on and doing something that makes them proud and sticks to the values that they started back in 1860.
Winner this week will earn an exemption into the U.S. Amateur and then the final stages of qualifying for the 2022 U.S. Open Country Club at Brookline.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this many times, but our responsibility at the USGA is to create showcase events wherever you are in your career. Amateur, professional, young, old, male, female. And I don't think it's any shock why a lot of people call a U.S. Amateur a major, because it's probably the most golf you'd ever play to lift a trophy. People know that if you walk out of here with a trophy, you're going to walk yourself onto some other great stages in the game. And like I said, that's one of the benefits of three great parties coming together.
Events like this don't happen without a significant corporate underpinning. You walk around this golf course, this championship, some of the world's leading corporations are represented as partners of this event. What do you think the impact of their involvement is?
They're bought into the dream, so they bring ideas to the table that make the event bigger and better. So I'm excited because as the proverb that hangs in my office says, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go further, go together. And in this event, we're going together.
We've always aspired that this championship is viewed as world-class. But world-class costs money. And we are very grateful to a group of corporations who buy into our vision, a collective vision of the three organizations of what we're trying to achieve. And without them, we wouldn't be able to put on this event as we do and give these players the opportunity.
Chairman Ridley, his predecessor, Chairman Payne, they have always said this game can take you to great places. Here to Casa de Campo, to Augusta National, and to the home of golf, St. Andrews. And back to 14 from the Cayman Islands, the UNLV freshman. Here is Aaron Jarvis.
This putt has got to go just a little bit from his right to left. Not a ton, almost no breeze blowing right now. Oh my, it straightened out at the end. He thought he had it right in the middle of the hole. This stretch is playing a little bit differently today. The first 3 days it played straight downwind. Today there's a little bit of wind back into them and from the right, which is unusual. What a great putt. He has the makings of being a very, very good player.
15, De Oliveira for birdie.
Can't tell y'all how good that second shot was, but this from 30 feet coming down the hill, but back into the grain. Easy to come up short.
Yeah, good read. Just hard to believe that some of these putts are slower than they look.
Back at 13, Biondi with a 2-shot lead. And let's bring in Dottie Pepper once again.
Very close between Nieves and Fred Biondi about who is away. I do believe it's Nieves. 111 to the front out of the first cut. It might be a little warm.
It's like there's just enough grass around the ball that it could jump a bit.
Exactly. I think you have to be very respectful of this whole location. Long as dead.
Yeah, somewhere just trying to land it somewhere very close to the front of the green. Love it. Oh, got an unbelievable hop. Oh my goodness, what a hop.
Go buy a lottery ticket.
Hang on. Stay up there. And it creeps down. Oh, so as good as that looked for so long, now he's got a tough up and in.
But that, Andy, is the benefit of that Fred will have of being able to control the golf ball, have a good idea about the spin.
Oh, absolutely. I can't overemphasize how important it is to put the ball in the fairway where you know what's going to happen to it.
109 to the front, another 20 to the hole.
Probably 15 feet left of the hole would be a reasonable shot. I think that's a little short and left. That's a good play. This is one of the holes out here that you just want to make a par on and move on.
Soft landing, middle of a hard winter. Casa de Campo and Pete Dye's teeth of the dog. And right now it is Fred Biondi of Brazil with a 2-shot lead.
The Latin America Amateur Championship. There's Marcelio playing out of the right fairway bunker. Awkward angle. The hole's cut in the right portion of this green. He's got to come over that deep swale to the right. Got that very cleanly. Oh, and that's going to go probably all the way down into that bunker. Not much green to work with. This is a golf course that Pete Dye gave you a lot of these edges that really roll off dramatically. And let's look at this shot again in slow motion. I love some of the slow motion. Very clean hit. Ball spinning beautifully. He just hit that about a yard too far to the right. And see if he's going to be able to get it up and save par. I think that's the more experience these players have, the more they realize you can't go flag hunting on that particular type of shot. But you're trying to win a golf tournament. You're trying to be aggressive. And he has played a lot of really good golf in his first couple of years at North Texas. Ocean much calmer this morning. A few clouds. We had not really a rain this morning, more of just a drizzle, just enough to get the dust settled. And here's a great spot to come hang out.
The Latin America Amateur Championship is proudly brought to you by AT&T. Fast, reliable, and secure. Bank of America. What would you like the power to do? IBM. The world is going hybrid with IBM. And Mercedes-Benz. And back out to 13. It's a challenging shot here for Roberto Nieves of Puerto Rico. He's 2 shots back of Fred Biondi here. Final round of the Latin America Amateur Championship. Dominican Republic. Pete Dye's teeth of the dog. Dottie Pepper's down there.
Important not to play the hero shot. Give yourself a putt at this. The lie is reasonable. Slightly on the upslope. Got about 8 yards to work with. functional.
Good word to describe it.
He still could knock that one in. He didn't land that more than a couple of yards onto the green, and it just took off. Now this very difficult bunker shot from down below.
Oh, this is brutal. Just to gauge your distance, what you really want to do is think of flying the ball on top of the flagstick itself, because almost always you come up short on bunker shots like this.
You can visualize this, go out in your backyard, try to hit it on the roof of your house from about 4 or 5 yards away from the house.
Tell you what, and greens raised this high are as nasty as any hazard you'll see in a golf course.
I think the penalty of missing greens here on the wrong side is dramatic. And you've got to remember the wind blows here, which just makes it that much more difficult.
Makes the greens play smaller than they already are. It was very, very good.
Well, you could throw 10 balls down there and maybe not get one any closer than that. Bunkers are tough to spin the ball out of.
And we're live at 16 with De Oliveira.
Flared his tee shot out to the right. This is a tough one here. Good news is he was on a little bit of an upslope, and wow, made that look easy.
Look, the way the club reacted going to the sand, that was an area of sand that was fairly soft, so you could get the club underneath it very easily.
And Andy, there's a big leaderboard behind this green. He knows exactly where he stands.
Back to 13. We find the leader, Fred Biondi.
His coach, J.C. Deacon, and his teammates last night kind of threw him some love on Instagram. He was actually loving the fact that he's not in Gainesville right now, where it was 39 degrees with a freeze warning.
One of the coldest winters, Dottie, I ever spent was my first winter at the University of Florida, because I didn't have any of the right clothes. None of the buildings are insulated. That's a very smart, safe par.
This hole is played second most difficult for the entire week. Take 4 here and run.
I agree. And so often when you get cold temperatures in North Florida, it's because the wind's blowing about 25 or 30. So it's not only cold, but it's windy. So I'm sure he had a lot of fun with his teammates.
He said
he's down here.
He said he had friends that were actually building bonfires last night.
And how proud you are, Andy, of your alma mater, the University of Florida. And we see Fred Biondi. So he's 4 back after 1 round with 70, backed up with 75. He was 10 shots back of Julian Perico at the midway point.
He played late Friday afternoon when the wind came up a little bit, and a lot of the players struggled, but the round yesterday was amazing. Low round by 3 shots. That doesn't happen very often. 8 birdies, only 1 bogey. Was in complete control, and he's continued that today.
Nieves, pretty big putt, Dottie.
Stole the words right from me.
Not quite. So Nieves, who began with that 1-shot lead today and went 2 under through his first 4 to get to -9, has played the next stretch of holes 4 over. He drops 3 shots behind Fred Biondi.
It all started with that skull bunker shot on the par 5 fifth. He was in complete control, and since then it's been a bit of a struggle.
And Colt De Oliveira has to have this one.
Yes, he does. He has to be thinking, knock this in and birdie the last 2 and post a number.
That was well done, Colt. I think that's the strategy. If he can get post one, who knows what might happen.
Post it and say, come get it, boys.
Marcilio back at 13. That is a world-class save right there by the Argentine.
When he needed that after a couple of putts in a row that he didn't hit his best.
Plays college golf at North Texas. It's where Sebastian Munoz, who's an LAAC alum and winner on the PGA Tour, played his college golf. Carlos Ortiz as well. Biondi trying to do what Carlos's younger brother did right here, teeth of the dog, 3 years ago, win the Latin America Amateur Championship. And he's hoping to become the first Brazilian to win And he'd be the first from Brazil in 46 years to play the Masters. Priscilo Diniz back in 1976. So we talked about the connection to the University of Florida. There's Coach J.C. Deacon on the left, Florida grad Dudley Hart, and there's Biondi. Next to Biondi to his left is Ricky Castillo, Walker Cup standout, an explosive, dynamic young player. And at the far right, that was Yushin Lin, who's won the Asia Pacific Amateur twice. This is an elite list right here of Florida grads to have done great things in the game.
And there's a lot of players that aren't on that list. Doug Sanders, Tommy, Frank Beard. I mean, a lot of
Gary Koch, Andy Bean.
Yep, some guys that had amazing careers on
Billy
tour.
Horschel. Oh, this was nice last night. So you were on that same team mid-70s at Gainesville with Chairman Ridley, who with Fred Biondi. They had a wonderful event last night.
When he was in college, we didn't think there was any chance he was going to be Chairman Ridley. Let's say that. He ended up winning the National Amateur, beat Andy Bean, one of his teammates. I think he beat him in the quarters or semis, and he ended up winning the National Amateur with my backup putter. Have not seen it back either, by the way.
Were you playing the cash-in back in college?
Yep. And he won with a cash-in.
Okay, that's Biondi. By the way, the putter heads have gotten considerably
a lot larger,
bigger since the cash-in days, which he used to win 2 U.S. Opens. Now Jarvis at 15, not out of it.
Well, he's in a situation where if he could also make 2 birdies coming in, maybe 3. You never know what's going to happen. He's currently 7 under, only 6 under, only 2 shots back.
What a shot!
And this is to get
Andy.
to 7 under. What a play that was, coming on the right-hand rough to that tough hole location. Good for him.
Yeah, the Cayman Islands looking to get another birdie on the board and another step closer to Fred Biondi, who's in the bunker at 14. It's good living here in the DR.
Marcilio hitting his shot at the 14th, 172 yards today. Saw Biondi going well right. I think that's where you expect most of the shots to be played today, in that right half of the green. Full cut in the left half of the green, fairly close to the bunker. Hole playing much longer today. The wind has been just howling behind the players' backs that at 172 they might have been hitting 9 irons, even some wedges. And now it's playing a good 30 yards longer. Nieves with his. A lot of the players now are hitting probably 8 irons, which makes this a very small green. Makes this hole so much more difficult. He needs something positive to happen. He needs to hit a good shot, make a birdie. Okay, good play. That's exactly what you expect on 14 today. We saw the big waves coming in the last 3 days. Almost dead quiet right now. Different golf course, a little bit more. Here's a look at his swing. He really stays back on his right side. Head way behind the ball and then turns through it at the last moment. Any of these slow-mo shots, I think, are just absolutely fantastic. But looking down, it's a little bit different golf course today than we've seen. Not as much bright sun, a little bit more humidity.
People are so welcoming here in the Dominican Republic. Natural embrace, as warm as the weather. Mid-80s, that's the average here in January, and it is just delightful all week. It's a property, it's relaxed elegance, 7,000 acres, 249 guest rooms, an additional 64 smart rooms under construction, 50 villas, lots of culinary options, Manitas Beach Club, tennis, and tons of great golf. All right, Jarvis now to get to 7 under and within 1.
So he has 3 holes left. He's 7 under. If he could post 8 or 9, I think that would be pretty darn good.
17T. How's this look? This is the Oliveira.
Going with less than driver. A little surprised here, playing back into the wind. Another one, he's lost a little bit to the right. Needs to be careful not to go through the fairway.
And we've seen a lot of players go through that fairway in the right, Colt.
Yeah, different wind direction today has made this fairway a little wider.
Here is the defending champion at the 18th. Threatened the lead yesterday until he came completely unglued with a quad at the par 5 12th. This is Abel Gallegos, and nice way to finish. You like his game, Andy?
I really do. I think he's got a chance to be a really good player. That was a 2 under par 70 today. Get some back in the red for the tournament. But he's really grown up a lot the last couple of years, and I think he's going to be special.
And does a lot of good work with Hernan Ray. Coaches a lot of Latin players, leaned out and grown up. Now Biondi.
Really good lie, slightly off the upslope. Got it a little heavy, but somewhat understandable.
Yeah. There's that huge penalty area just a little bit behind the flagstick. You can see why you'd err to the short side.
When is the Caribbean not pretty? When you're staring at it from this bunker.
You can see at the replay he got a lot of sand. He probably hit 6 inches behind that one. But he's trying to just chunk it out and run it down there.
His coach, J.C. Deacon, says he is such a kind, thoughtful, smart young man. I hope my own son grows up to be just like Freddie. Calls Freddie, along with Ricky Castillo and John Dubois, the heartbeat of that University of Florida team.
They've got a chance to do something special later this year in NCAAs. You'd think that they'd be one of the potential favorites.
And now Marsilio. To get to 6 under, give him a crack at it.
I think any of these players that are 5 under with 4 or 5 holes to play, you finish with 3 birdies the last 4 or 5 holes, you're going to have a chance.
There are chances out here the way they've switched this golf course around. We used to finish on the other side the first time we came here, and there's electricity toward the end now with the 17th, with the 18th being reachable. Love it.
Yeah, or in the past, the first time we were here, the 9th hole was the 18th hole. It was a 480-yard par 4. Not much of a chance to make a birdie at the end. For now, they've moved the tees up about 30 yards at 18. We might see an eagle or two. Just something to look forward to. A par at 14 is never bad.
17 now. De Oliveira. It's a critical shot.
164 yards to a tough hole location. Got to get aggressive here, guys. Finishing second doesn't do much for you. This is another one headed towards the right side of the green. Needs to get down.
I did catch the green.
Back at 14, Nieves.
Golden opportunity here, Andy.
Great look from above. See the ball just drifting off to the left at the end, but perfect speed.
And from Mexico, De La Fuente now at 15.
This putt's going to go to his right, and it's very slow from back here. Very few players have gotten it there. He did, right in the middle.
Santiago De La Fuente, 6 under par. He's sort of an irrepressible, good spirit. Spent a little time with a young man from outside of Guadalajara earlier this week. And now Biondi to save his par.
Continuing to play at his normal pace and being decisive.
Wow. As much as the putt before him went to the left, that one didn't do anything.
Now we're all tied. Here is Jarvis, who is at 7 under with Biondi.
At 206 yards today.
Oh no!
That front hole location, got to be really careful. There's a bunker there. Assuming that one ended up in the bunker.
We're told that it is wet. We've really enjoyed this Latin America Amateur Championship. I have been to every one, have seen all the good that it continues to do, and with more. Let's go down to John Sutcliffe.
Rich, the 7-year history of this championship, it's about elevating the level of amateur golf in Latin America. But it's not just about the números, the numbers on a scorecard. It's etiquette, sportsmanship, learning the rules. Can you imagine today, some kid in Puerto Rico, Mexico, Chile, Argentina, Brazil, watching the broadcast and telling his dad, hey, I want to start playing golf tomorrow, Dad. Or another one saying, I want to elevate my game. I want to be part of that championship so I can play someday the Masters, the Open Championship, the U.S. Open. As a dad of a son who plays junior golf in Latin America, on behalf of all of them, I just want to say muchísimas gracias. Many things. Masters, USGA, and R&A.
So well said, John. Chairman Ridley is saying earlier this week that these are experiences and memories of a lifetime, ones that these young competitors will take with them back to their home countries and inspire the next generation.
And they've also done that with the women's amateur at the Masters. On the Saturday, they finished the drive, chip, and putt on Sunday.
Question. This is a Nieves here at 15.
Marcilio has already played different eye line here, shot line today, Andy, because of the wind not being behind the players nearly as much.
Yeah, you've got to be a little bit careful. There's some trouble out there on the left. You see a lot of the players go through the fairway on the right, and with the front left hole location. Now here's Jarvis at 16. His ball ended up in the water. This will be his third. He needs to somehow figure out a way to make a 4. If he can do that, he still has a chance. He'll have a putt at it that he can make. Tough hole location today.
Biondi.
Area of his game that has improved a lot. 283 to the center bunker on the right.
I think he's swinging at it really well, Dottie.
He loved that one. And Andy, I just wanted to follow up on the Augusta National Women's Amateur. There is a Women's Amateur Latin America that was played in November as we watch Fernandez de Oliveira here for birdie at 17. That was won by Valerie Plata of Columbia and Michigan State, and she has received an invitation to the Augusta National Women's Amateur April of this year.
That is. Now Aaron Jarvis with his bogey putted at 16. Putt will have to break to his right. He knows he has to make this one, so just get locked in and make a nice aggressive stroke. And how about that 4?
Yeah.
How about that 4?
Wow,
he still has a
hanging in.
chance.
Good head on his shoulders. His coach, A.J. McInerney at UNLV, says he is a beautiful putter. Great putter. Showed it there. Look of determination, hanging in. One back of Fred Biondi. Exciting finish. Final round of the Latin America Amateur Championship from Casa de Campo.
Well, with 4 holes to play, Fred Biondi is a one-shot lead, but there's literally 6 players that still have a chance to be the Latin America Amateur Champion. What a tournament this is. It's been created by the Masters, the R&A, and the USGA. It's wonderful to see these 3 great organizations working together. Probably the 3 biggest organizations in the game of golf today. and they're doing some great things. As Chairman Juan said earlier, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to get something done, take some partners with you. And they've done exactly that. Paul Chaplet, our champion here in the second running. Good round of golf today. You see a lot of players. 22 countries are represented of the 53 players who made the cut. Mr. Cabrera, the youngest player in the field, 14 years old. What a great experience for him. So the 18th hole is going to be a birdie hole today. They've moved the tee up a little bit. We could see fireworks coming down the stretch. Can one of these players at 6 under birdie the last 2 holes and get in at 8, put the pressure on everybody else?
We started with 102 players, 53 made the cut. It was at the 6 over par. Perico of Peru and the University of Arkansas, 9 under. That's a new championship 36-hole mark. Nieves, though, with Perico shooting 80 yesterday, had the 54-hole lead. Range of ages from the 42-year-old Banasoste to the nephew of Carlos Franco. And that is Ezequiel Cabrera of Paraguay. And now Puerto Rico. This is Roberto Nieves. He's only 2 shots back here playing the 15th hole.
Missed the fairway, but drawn a very good lie. Probably the best I've seen in the signal grass rough all week. 132 to the front, 144 hole. Breeze from the right. Flag is cut just over that thumbprint in the middle of the green there, Andy, on the short side. Very high and starting just a little right of it.
That ball carried well up into the green. It's gotten just over the back fringe.
All right, take you to the 18th hole. This is Julian Perico. Really was the story of the championship, even through yesterday, for the way that he handled that round of 80. He was just completely out of sorts. So this now for Eagle. Go out on a high note. Go ahead, Julian. Do that. You know, this is what he told me late yesterday afternoon. We are not always going to play well. We're not robots, but we can act the right way and do the right thing. I was tested in the hardest way I could be tested. My game was off, mind was off, body off, but my attitude cannot be off. I'm a grown man. I need to face my challenges, and I did. I did not play well, but I behaved properly.
There's a guy who's really grown up a lot in the last 4 years. Give him an awful lot of credit.
Marsilio.
This is from 136, and his pace throughout the day has really started to slow down.
That's a pretty good shot out of that rough.
It's very good. It was not a good lie. Fred Biondi's is much better than he had.
But still, coming out of this signal grass rough, you just don't have any idea what it's going to do. This is kind of like the old Kama Bermuda that we played on 30, 40 years ago, where you get flyers that would go over galleries behind greens.
It's almost like what you see in Florida off in the St. Augustine grass. It is really hard to play out of. That's from 109.
Yeah, he did a great job of controlling the spin on that. That was a good play.
Looks to be in control. Even off that bogey at 14. Here's another guy we've enjoyed getting to know through the years. Geronimo Esteve of Puerto Rico. He's playing in that same group with Julian Perico. He's a guy who got an economics degree 19 years ago from Dartmouth. Cancer survivor. Very bright, successful in the automobile business.
This would be for a 3 under 69 today.
Come on, turn for home.
Oh, just not enough speed. Oh my, just a smidge harder. But that's a heck of a round. He made a double bogey 7 at that par 5 12th and still shot a couple under today. So he played a beautiful round of golf.
Had a really good week, and he's sitting right now on a top 10 here with his wife, and they're really enjoying. And he's excited. We're all excited. Next year, 2023 Latin America Amateur Championship to the Grand Reserve Golf Club in Puerto Rico for the very first time. Thrilled for Sidney Wolf. You see Sidney sort of right in the center there. He is the president of the Puerto Rican Golf Federation, has been working so hard for a number of years. See Mike Wan of the USGA, Ian Pattinson on the left side there, RNA. There's Chairman Ridley, far right. You see Martin Slumbers of the RNA. And to learn more, just go to LAAC.com. All the championship action anywhere, anytime. And it's on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as well. Now to De La Fuente. This championship was played in Mexico with Mayakoba 2 years ago, won by Abel Gallegos.
He's currently one shot back. As it slows down, it will go to the right. His speed has been very good. It's a good solid par at 16. There'll be some mistakes there today.
And back at 15, and let's bring in Dottie Pepper once more, just sort of to set the scene around our leader, Fred Biondi.
Fred, I wouldn't say he's enjoying this, but he's showing no signs of being anxious. Nieves he's the pursuer and looks comfortable as well. He will be first to play here.
5 under. He still has a chance. Needs to make sure he 2-putts this one.
Yeah, get out of here with a 4, and then you can kind of put the hammer down. Fred looks like to me he's out here doing what he's supposed to be doing. So there's not a lot of anxiousness, but there's not a lot of overall emotion on any side.
Dottie, I thought he looked that way even on Friday when he got out in the wind late and shot 75.
I agree. I think he's come in here playing well, won the Florida Am last summer, and it just looks like he expects to be here.
What a look at that slow-mo putt, how the ball was off the ground for the first 2 feet or so. It didn't have any spin on it at all.
You think about golf in Puerto Rico, the only golfer from Puerto Rico to have played the Masters and the Open, Chichi Rodriguez. The Masters, that was 40 years ago, his final appearance there.
Heck of a ball striker, Chichi. Great showman. And it's really turned into did a lot of teaching over the last 20 years.
At 17, this is Jarvis.
This whole cut in the back portion of the screen, just got to be careful not to get a jumper. It's well out to the right. It's going to trundle down onto the green. And that worked out very nicely. Not really a birdie opportunity, but you might hole it.
We've seen chance for eagle ahead at 18. Now Marsilio at 15.
Putting across the fall line with some length. Came in here playing good golf as well.
That was well done. Tap in for his par.
Santiago de la Fuente is at 16. Okay. He's not out of it either.
I think it's wonderful watching these youngsters really pretty much in control of their emotions. They don't look like the stage is bigger than. Now Biondi, can he make this one? It's going right. Just thought it'd go right at the end, Dottie, and it didn't.
I do like that he's just played at his continued pace. It's been the same. Nothing's changed for him.
Well, that's the secret of handling pressure coming down the stretch of trying to win a championship is to do what you always do. Don't all of a sudden try something different.
Yeah, he's a mature young guy. Keep in mind, when he was 15, on his own, he came to the United States to train at an academy in Florida. On the Nieves, and that one hurts.
That really hurts. He's now 3 behind. That's 3 bogeys on the back 9.
5 over since he began, 2 under through 4 with the lead.
It has not gone well since the skull out of the bunker that resulted in the double bogey at 5.
Marcilio just cleaning up here. Two back. Biondi clinging to a 1-shot lead over 3 players. De Oliveira of Argentina, Jarvis, Cayman Islands, and De La Fuente from Mexico.
The tee shots on the next hole are going to be critical, the tough par 3.
So the leader is headed to the 16th hole. Try not to think about what is at stake. Not now, anyway. An awful lot. The Masters, the 150th Open, the Amateur at Litherman St. Anne's, U.S. Amateur in New Jersey, and then final stage U.S. Open qualifying chance to play the Country Club, Brookline, Massachusetts.
Fred Biondi with a 1-shot lead. He has 3 holes to play. A couple of the other competitors that have a chance are now on the 18th hole. So if De Oliveira. And here's a look at what we've got coming up. Here's the 17th green with the hole cut in the back portion of the green. You really need to put the ball in the fairway there to have any chance to make birdie. We've seen a lot of players playing out of the right-hand rough, which is understandable with the ocean just on the left. And then 18 flags back up in the middle part of the green. And there's plenty of room around that hole location in the middle of the green. The hole's going to be reachable, so we could see an eagle, we could see a bogey, you could have a potential 2 or 3 shot swing on that very last hole. You can see almost no air moving at all. The waves are almost non-existent compared to the last 3 days where they were coming in here 6-7 feet high, crashing on the shore. There's a look at 16. With the front hole location, you cannot get sucked into trying to hit it close there. Go ahead and hit it to the middle of the green. Carry it at least to the hole. But almost no breeze at all right now. See some great shots here in just a moment.
It is the final round of the 7th playing of the Latin America Amateur Championship. We are at one of the world's great courses, Pete Dye's Teeth of the Dog. He called it one of his all-time favorites, and he did some legendary tracks. This is a good one, Biondi of Brazil, and here he is at the 16th hole. All you want in the final round.
199 to the front. 206 hole. Breeze, what there is helping, and a touch from the right.
Barking on it to go, and it does. Wow.
His heart just jumped back into his chest. And that's actually a makeable birdie from there. Whew, he's a happy dude right now. And look at this. What a backdrop. Beautiful golf swing.
How's that impact position?
Yeah. Head position's great. I've seen some videos of a guy a little bit taller that swings just like that, Rich.
Juan Nieves from Puerto Rico.
He made bogey here yesterday in that round that he fought so hard for. He needs to finish 3-2-4.
got a good hop. That's really good. Now that's very makeable.
And ahead to 17, and Aaron Jarvis of the Cayman Islands.
Jarvis is 6 under. He needs to knock a bomb in here. All right, good speed. So it's now up to playing 18. Probably needs an eagle 3 to have a chance to win. But he has the length to reach that green in 2, so there is that opportunity.
De Oliveira here at 18.
Hit a poor tee shot, Rich. Was forced to lay up. Has a perfect angle, 66 yards to this back right hole location. Actually walked all the way up to take a look at the green. He knows he's got to get this one tight to have a chance.
He currently is 6 under. Leader is 7.
He's just made a lot of defensive golf swings coming down the stretch here. Really hasn't had many good looks at birdie. So very important shot here.
Is this going to be one of those lower wedge shots that come hot and skips a couple of times?
That is definitely an option with the amount of green he has to work with. He's brought it in very low. Needs a bounce. Just didn't carry it far enough.
It spun probably 12 feet up the hill, but very makeable. Probably a better opportunity if you hit 6 or 8 feet past the hole here. There's quite a bit of slope in this back portion of the green. He's really played some great golf. South American Amateur Champion last week. A lot of confidence in what he's doing.
Well, I love this golf course with those 7 oceanfront holes. They call those the Heaven 7 holes, Casa de Campo. And I really love the resort. I think it's been the refrain from everyone who's been here. Talked about that warm welcome, good pool scene, a number of different places to just sort of hang out or hang them high. Nothing like a toss from Pop. Enjoy a beverage down by the pool. They have a world-class tennis center as well. You can go horseback riding. There's skeet shooting. There's a 370 slip marina and yacht club. 13 hardcourt tennis courts. And, there's that right there. And I don't know what it was, 4 degrees in, negative 4 degrees in Chicago. Wherever you are, if it's cold, hop on a plane. Lots of direct flights. And we can't thank Robert Bertel, the Director of Golf Operations here at Casa, enough. There's his beautiful daughter, Eleanor. Eleanor's mom, Robert's wife, Emily, last night. What a nice family. And Andres Pichardo. We had a great conversation. This is a world-class resort. De La Fuente.
6 under par. Just wants to get a putt at it. And he will. Stopped a little quicker than he wanted, so he'll be in that 35-foot range. But, sometimes you make those when you need to. Rich, what a view that is of the difficult 16th.
I mean, I landed here from New York in 4 inches of snow, and immediately the whole vibe changed.
You can get here from pretty much everywhere in North and South America, Central America. A lot of great flight options coming in and out of here.
Good place for a golf trip, buddies or couples. I mean, 50 villas ranging from 3-bedroom to 11 bedrooms. Great restaurant scene. All right, now Marsilio for birdie to get to 6.
Through a bunch of micro breaks, it will overall go to the right.
Dottie, he has hit some beautiful long putts.
There is some flow to that stroke. Well done.
This is a tie for the lead. This is De Oliveira from Argentina.
Uphill, slow one, breaking right to left. Probably the biggest putt of his life so far.
Hurry, not quite. So that will be a par, disappointing par for Mateo. Outstanding young man. And the team leaders at the University of Arkansas, 4 under 68 to get to 6 under for the championship. And he'll wait. See what this man does. Biondi at 16.
Playing quickly.
I really do like that Dottie under pressure. He makes up his mind and then just goes ahead and plays.
It hasn't changed, like you said, since Friday when we first saw him. And he played in some very difficult conditions that afternoon. Let me correct myself. This young man needs to finish 2-3-4.
Well, this is for the 2. Well, with that par, still a slimmer of hope. He needs birdie eagle the last 2.
It's really the beauty of this setup because it can happen.
Well, yesterday they moved the tee way up on 17, and we saw all kinds of fireworks. And they've gone back to the normal tee today.
All right, so Biondi from Brazil will head to the 17th tee with a 1-shot lead here in the final round of the Latin America Amateur Championship.
Marcelios for his par putt at the par 3 16th after a beautiful run at it from about 50-55 feet. It's got to be just inside right. It's such a beautiful stroke. He got a little tentative in the middle of this back 9, but now he's back to making some beautiful strokes. 2 back with 2 to play. Probably needs birdie eagle or at least birdie birdie.
Over there.
University of Florida. Part of a very solid team there. He keeps improving. I think it's one of the neat things about doing this event over the 7 years is that we've seen some of these players as 16, 17, 18-year-olds now turn into 20, 21, 22-year-olds, and they're different people, different bodies, different types of players. And staying on the 17th tee, boy, this is a beautiful par 4. Ocean comes into play in the left. You see so many of the players hitting it through the fairway on the right. Just to make sure you're out there to the right, and from the right rough, getting it anywhere near this back right hole location is not a very good plan.
Seventeenth tee. This is the final round of the prestigious Latin America Amateur Championship. To the winner, invitation to the Masters, the 150th Open at the home of golf this summer. Final stage qualifying of the U.S. Open, U.S. Amateur, the Amateur. I mean, so much is riding, and Dottie Pepper's down there. But before we go down there, ahead at the 17th green, De La Fuente just 1 shot back. Keep in mind that 18th is gettable, possibly an eagle there. We saw Perico make one earlier. Here is Jarvis at 18.
Jarvis currently 6 under. Biondi leading a 7. Oh, look at that. It hopped up. Unbelievable break. So he'll have 30 feet for eagle straight up the hill.
He's only 1 shot back. There are 3 players at 6 under and a shot back. Here is Marcilio. He's 2 shots back and now will join Dottie.
Well, good play here, I think, with iron off the tee. The center bunker is 270 yards.
De La Fuente did tap at 17. He's one back.
And Dottie just getting the ball in the short grass so you can control the spin. This is a key element here.
Absolutely crucial here. This ball starts way right, Andy.
And that is going to get into that signal grass, which is hard to control the spin out of. You know, you get so protective of not hitting it left in the ocean. You really have to be committed. Pick your line and then just go make a very aggressive play at that line.
Fred's done a pretty good job of that all week.
We've got a great look from behind it. Looks like he'd like to take it right at that bunker and then maybe draw it to those palm trees. It would be beautiful.
His eye sees a cut just a little bit easier, however.
I love that one.
Yep, that's in the fairway. That is, and also in a good angle to attack this whole location.
That's one of about 4 or 5 spots on this incredible golf course where you'd love to drop, as we said earlier, drop a bag of balls and just have at it. On the Ibis.
From my vantage point, this looks like a more aggressive play.
This looks like a fairway. It's like more 3 wood, 3 metal. He's got to make something happen.
He has really improved. When he came to the University of Delaware his freshman year, he was averaging close to 74 per round. Now, shade under 69, and he'll become a graduate transfer at an outstanding program in California, Pepperdine. He turned a troublesome hook into a reliable fade, and that's made all the difference in the world. Nice crowd out there in this final round. With more, let's go down to John Sutcliffe.
Gracias, Rich, with the highest ranked player this week. Mateo, how would you talk about your performance this week?
I think the first round and the fourth round were the best ones. I made 2 rounds bogey free. In the middle, I still played well, but I just had a couple moments like the last 9 holes on the second round that I just didn't deal with some things that I had to deal better, and I lost a couple strokes on those couple stretches.
Uno nunca sabe, you never know. I would think you're going to be watching some live golf and maybe have a chance.
Yeah, I'm waiting here, but I just feel I'm going to be short by 1. But although it was a great week, I'm very thankful for everyone, the LAC, the Masters, and the R&A for this week. It's an unbelievable week for all the Latin American amateurs, and we should be very thankful with them.
Muchas gracias and rest. We're playing 36 holes tomorrow in Arizona.
Yeah.
Rich?
Well, you love what he said, that, as I said, the attitude of gratitude deeper here than at any tournament I've ever covered. Yeah, the University of Arkansas, the 5 in this field, they're going to fly tonight to Tucson for the Arizona Intercollegiate. How about 36 holes tomorrow? Good to be young.
De La Fuente here at the 18th, 5:45 today. They moved the tee up about 35 yards. Not much wind. Good solid one. Should be able to reach the green, but the key is putting in the fairway to start the hole. That is excellent. Now it flew over the entire length of that bunker. Beautiful tee shot. Great angle to attack the hole. This is Pinto from Argentina, the University of Arkansas. He has the length to reach this in 2. just barely into the rough, but that should be all right. Gabriel Morgan Berkay. We've seen him play some great golf in this event over the last 4 or 5 years. A couple of top fives. Very consistent player. Unfortunately, he's 5 over today. There's some days, unfortunately, that you get out of bed and your body doesn't feel quite the same, and it just doesn't work as well. Another big drive. Golf course is dried out for some rain early in the week. It's beautiful shape.
We are live. Second shot, 17th hole. The leader, Fred Biondi.
164 yards, not a breath of wind. 8 yards beyond the hole.
He got fortunate, Dottie. The ball hit very softly. He's got some green to work with. He should be able to salvage par from there.
Nerves, Andy, or what do you think?
I'd hate to say that his nerves. It looks like he just got over that one a little bit. He likes to cut the ball. It's just a dangerous shot playing into that 17th hole.
So this now is for Eagle. Aaron Jarvis, Cayman Islands, par 5, 18th to jump into the lead.
We'll break a little right to left going up the hill, and it's slow. You can go ahead and hit it. It's just overbroke, and he's got a little tester to get in at 7.
Back to 17 and Vicente Marcilio.
3 yards closer than Fred was, and a not predictable lie at all. Angle's fine.
There's no place to bail. You've got to go ahead and try to hit a shot here.
Okay. Hold on.
That's very well done out of the rough. Very well done.
Now this is, I like to say, across the Atlantic, this little tit is to tie the lead. Yes, left side. Cayman Islands, 7 under. And a superb round for the 19-year-old freshman out of UNLV, 369. No player representing Cayman Islands, very small spot with one golf course, has played the Masters or the Open.
The best finish by a player from the Caymans is like a tie for 30th, so this is an amazing week.
And there was that UNLV squad, head coach A.J. McInerney. He says that Aaron is constantly working towards his goals. The guy never seems to sleep, is not afraid to work, and he has done the hard work here in the final round, and he has posted 7. And for the moment tied with Fred Biondi, who's playing the 17th hole. And that will remove any chance for the guys at 6, or certainly 6 in the house, and that would be De Oliveira, who gave it a good go. Now Nieves at 17.
Trying to take advantage of that terrific tee shot, 120.
Daddy, I think that's the beauty of this golf course. If you take a little bit more risk off the tee, you're going to be left with a much easier second or approach shot. If you take the easy route, you're going to be left with a much more difficult approach.
It's kind of Pete Dye in a nutshell, isn't it?
Andy, you mentioned it, drive, chip, and putt. And for more information, if you have a youngster ages 7 to 15 and you want to compete with Augusta National, who wouldn't, right? Go to drivechipandputt.com for more. And I always love that when the past champions like Bubba Watson and Mark O'Meara, Freddie Couples come out and they're part of it all. It's about creating heroes, giving young people someone to look up to. And that's become a great weekend with the Augusta National Women's Amateur and the drive, chip, and putt all leading in to Masters Week. And Biondi is hoping to be there on the grounds at Augusta National, but he has to take care of some business here, Dottie.
He's got a fine lie. Ball's sitting very clean. There's a little cushion underneath it. It's all about the theater. Where are we? What's on the line?
He's got plenty of green to work with. I mean, this is one of those shots you practice by the hour when you're working on your short game.
These are the ones you almost like hit one-handed, just kind of goofing off.
You can't goof off right now.
Not
though.
now. It is uphill most of the way with a bit of swing to the right.
And he's got plenty of room between the ball and the rocks behind.
No problem.
Okay. From our angle, it looks like it's pretty tight.
Any closer, he'd have had to play the Miguel Angel Jimenez road hole shot off the wall.
It's in your peripheral vision, but not part of your shot. Just fat.
Well,
just fat.
So he needs to make that to remain tied for the lead. If he misses, Aaron Jarvis will have the lead. And he's in the house. Here's De La Fuente at 18.
He definitely has the length to get there.
Birdie to tie. Oh, he does it. Eagle to jump in
Putt for
front.
eagle.
And back at 17. Biondi giving this one the full treatment. And Marsilio is set to go. Think about Argentina. Richest history of all the countries in this region. Only two Latin men's major champs from Argentina. The great Roberto Di Vincenzo won the Open in 1967, and then Angel Cabrera, two-time major champion. Our best to Eduardo Romero, who's in failing health in a hospital back in Argentina. Wonderful player, won a U.S. Senior Open. And Marsilio.
Speed just fine. Not the easiest putt going back up the hill into the green. That's a 4. He will stay at 5 under, 2 shots behind with the par 5 18th to come.
I think we're starting to see some speed issues with players, A, because of the humidity. Greens are stickier today, but B, mostly because of the pressure of where they're at, what they're trying to do.
This for par to stay tied for the lead.
Just wandered left. Never even thought about going back to the right.
And that'll be a bogey. His second in the last 4 holes. His 4th bogey of the day. Back to even for the round, and the leader right now is Aaron Jarvis of the Cayman Islands at 7 under. This is right about where we thought the winning score would be, somewhere in the middle of what won it 3 years ago, 14 under, Alvaro Ortiz of Mexico, and 3 under, the winning score for Paul Chaplet here at Teeth of the Dog in 2016. De La Fuente has an eagle putt ahead. Biondi will have to make birdie and perhaps eagle at the final hole. Now Nieves for birdie.
We've lost some of the aggressiveness on some of these strokes, which is definitely easy to do this time of a golf tournament. He was rolling along beautifully. Ran into that trouble at the 5th hole and has not made a birdie since.
So Matias Dominguez, who's back in finance in Chile, just won 3 of the first 6. He won the inaugural. Toto Gana won that thriller in a playoff with Joaquin Niemann and Alvaro Ortiz. You can see Niemann went on to win the next year, final round 63 back in his home country of Chile, and then Ortiz with a sensational back 9 performance here at Teeth of the Dog. And then at Mayakoba, it was the first from Argentina, Abel Gallegos. And now Aaron Jarvis is trying to get the job done and join that list. Let's go down to John.
Aaron, on such a difficult day, you had 4 birdies in the last 8 holes. How were you able to get it done?
I mean, I just stayed patient. I knew out there anything could happen, especially the holes coming in. I mean, besides 16, the other holes are pretty gettable. Just try to give myself good birdie looks and manage to drop a few.
What does this mean for the Cayman Islands, for the Gulf and Caribbean, to put it on the map and maybe have that life-changing moment if it happens?
Feels great. Love representing my country. Hopefully I can make a change at home and get more players involved. And it's good. I always love representing Cayman Islands, so it feels great.
We'll have to wait and see some live golf and see what happens. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rich?
All right, John, and well done. Aaron Jarvis.
Yeah, he bogeyed 8 and doubled 9. It looks like his week is over, and then 33 coming in. That's beautiful.
He started the day 3 back, now with a 1-shot lead. All right, all eyes on the man in the colors of his country. Green shirt, red hat. This is Santiago de la Fuente. He played a small 9-hole golf course. It was short and tight, 50 miles, small town outside of Guadalajara. He told me you could miss your drive by 10 yards and be out of bounds. His dad, who knew very little about golf, taught him until he was 16, and then, and still today, Paco Savacho at the Atlas Country Club is his instructor.
The bottom line here, Rich, he's got this putt. If he knocks it in, that gets him 8 under. And that could be the winning putt.
That would force Biondi to make eagle to match him at 8 under. Right now it's Jarvis leading at 7. He's finished.
Demeanor hasn't changed much the whole week.
Division II standout at Arkansas Tech. His whole goal growing up in Mexico was to earn a scholarship, play college golf in the United States. There are bigger goals right there, right now. This for Eagle.
It's up and across the hill, breaking from right to left. Probably started out at that coin that's out there to the right. Even outside of that a little bit. Dive.
Okay, just that little bit left for his birdie to tie Jarvis at 7 under. Mentioned that lone playoff. That was a 2017 in Panama, won by Toto Gana.
And if there is a playoff, we will play the 18th hole until somebody is our winner.
And the last time this championship was played here, won by Mexico, Alvaro Ortiz. De La Fuente looking to tap for his birdie in a round of 2 under 70. Now, Gabriel Morgan Berque from Chile. They have a robust developmental program back in Chile. Had lots of 72-hole tournaments where young players sort of learn the art of putting together a score over 4 rounds. And a number of professional events now across the region. They've sort of built ladders of success. The PGA Tour Latino America, top 5 there, graduate to the Korn Ferry Tour. Korn Ferry Tour events in the region, PGA Tour events.
Finish up a disappointing day.
Okay.
Accident for birdie. Well done. Finishes up at even par for the championship. Unfortunately, 4 over par on Sunday.
Now Nieves, 18T.
That was a little extra, gentlemen.
Yeah. Pepperdine's getting a good one.
And no helping breeze. I mean, you're going to earn it to get home in 2, even though they have moved the tee up.
Big spot now for Fred Biondi. And his pal at University of Florida, Billy Horschel, just sent a text. Watching the Latin America Am, hoping my Florida Gator Freddie can get it done.
Went for a little extra too, Dot.
Seemed to like it. And should.
Billy writing, this is awesome to watch. And it is. All right. Just this little one, Andy, for the birdie and share of the lead.
And it's very much the same putt that Aaron Jarvis made a little bit ago. So it's just focusing in. It's got to be just outside the left. It slides a little from left to right. And you cannot look up. You can't peek on these. If you do, it'll slide to the right.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's heartbreaking. That's too bad.
This will end up being a 3-putt par. Getting in 1 behind the lead. Made a nice attempt at the eagle. He's going to be very disappointed, but when he has a chance to look back at all the good things he did this week, he'll be very proud.
6 under after 71. And so Jarvis still the leader alone. And those are uncomfortable, Andy, with all that pressure where it slides to the right.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just peek a bit or come out of it just a fraction. Painful part of this game. Put yourself there enough, in contention enough, you're going to have a few of those over the course of time. Teammates from Mexico, some of the officials from the Mexican Golf Federation. All right, now back to Biondi. So he needs a birdie to tie Jarvis, and eagle would win it.
He knows exactly what he has to do. Follow up that great drive with a good second. Get it on the green, give him some kind of a putt at it.
All right, so he would be the first Brazilian, and again the first from Brazil to have played the Masters, first to play in the Open since 2012. Has a really interesting family. Dad's in advertising, his mom's in business, makes what he says are the tastiest macaroons you've ever had. He has a brother who is a professional video game player in Las Vegas. It's a family of many talents. He said his coach at Florida, J.C. Deacon, said he's the heart and soul of the team and just a wonderful young man. They call him Freddie up there. He's thoughtful, kind, and now laser focused on getting the job done here at Casa de Campo. Let's bring in Dottie.
First to play will be in the FS from 202 to the front. So 222 hole. Plays 4 yards up from here.
They hit some wonderful tee shots.
All 3 of them, right in a row. And he'll have 210 to carry if he takes it directly at the flag. If there's any breeze, it's coming from the right and helping a touch.
So he's currently 4 under par.
So there's Jarvis from the Cayman Islands. Headed out to take a look. A player from the Cayman Islands is Justin Hastings. There's De La Fuente. Now beyond the second shot here at this par 5 18th, but first to go will be Nieves from Puerto Rico. Okay, what a shot by Roberto Nieves.
What a way to finish the day. Unbelievable shot.
He's getting better and better.
Where has that been the last 7 or 8 holes?
In general, over the last couple of years, and competition like this will only sharpen him. Now Marzilio.
193 to the front, 213 to the hole for the Mexican amateur champion.
He's not done. He needs to make eagle. That would tie the lead.
That is very high and starts right at it.
He took a hop. Are you kidding?
Wow. Woo. What in the world did that hit?
Was that a sprinkler head?
It had to have been.
That's crazy.
And it had spin on it after it hit.
That for eagle. To tie the lead. Now Fred Biondi's second shot here at this par 5 final hole.
183 front, 193 cover, 203 hole. Very high but hanging right.
Okay. So he will have to get it up and down from there to get to 7 under to match the current leader, Aaron Jarvis. Meanwhile, Vicente Marcilio, with Jarvis watching, Marcilio will have pretty good look at eagle to get to 7 as well. That's Justin Hastings, who plays at San Diego State, also from the Cayman Islands, and a good young player. One more time here, Vicente Marcilio.
Love that look when players' eyes are going up and down. He knows it's right at it. He lands short of the green. He must have hit a sprinkler head. Goes straight up in the air with some spin on it, and he's going to have an 8 to 10 footer for eagle to tie.
The follow through on the face and the eyes on fire reminded me of his countryman Angel Cabrera when he hit that shot to the 72nd hole at the 2013 Masters. There's Jarvis and Hastings from the Cayman Islands. This is, this is good.
As golfers, we think every single break is a bad break. Well, that was a good one. Usually when it hits a sprinkler head like that, it goes 30 yards over the green. What a great break. Now see if you can capitalize on it.
One more text from Billy Horschel. He says, this is nerve-wracking. This is fun to watch. We feel you, Billy. And he was not being widely talked about, talking about Aaron Jarvis coming to this final round. Just didn't have all the experience in the world. But Andy, you said this morning that you thought he had huge upside down the road, talking about Jarvis, and we all feel the same way, I think, about Fred Biondi.
Yeah, these are wonderful young players. Biondi 2 or 3 years older than Aaron Jarvis. He's got a tough up and in here, Dottie.
He does, and he's caught an area that's pretty firm. There's not a whole lot of really good grass around the ball. He's looking at landing it right at the edge of the green.
It's not really downhill, though. It's just made more across the grain.
Yes.
The weight of all of this on the shoulders of this young man. Masters, the Open, the great amateur championships later this summer.
The pitch he hit at 17 was not one of his better ones, and it was a little bit easier than this shot. Maybe he can pull off the more difficult one.
Yep, struggled with the 2 bunker shots. Everything was just a little on the chunky side on his back now when he needed a good chip shot or a bunker shot.
This is typically where nerves show up on these short shots. Let's see how he handles it. That's just a hard shot, Andy.
Yeah, he had to land it basically perfectly, and he carried it a yard or two too far, and it landed and then released down the hill. But he's still got a chance to make it. Still, Jarvis could still win this outright. We could have 1 or 2 players join him. We've had some great finishes, and we've got another one this year.
So 2 crucial putts here.
There's not a whole lot of free oxygen on this green right now.
They're both going to be putting from almost the exact same line. Marcelio should get a pretty decent read off of Biondi's putt.
Yeah, Biondi at one point at 8 under had a 2-shot lead. He bogeyed 14 and 17. So here he is in need of a birdie putt.
Yeah, so much online that he's going to ask Marcelio to move his marker.
What's the putt do, Dottie?
Well, it's uphill to start. It looks like it wants to swing right going up the hill and then straighten out as it gets over kind of the remnants of a shoulder from the back of the green.
Has to have this. Doesn't waste any time. Hurry.
Oh, what a good
wow.
putt.
Wonderful putt he just hit.
Wow, that was a good putt. And Jarvis has dodged 1 bullet. Tap this one in for an even par 72.
Good championship for Fred Biondi of Brazil. At 65 on Saturday was the standout. Too bad. He didn't quite have enough. Six under. All right, so now just 1 more. That's the Brazilian team right there. 1 more for Aaron Jarvis. It will be Vicente Marcelio. He's already well down that board, but with 1 putt, he could jump right to the top from 5th to a tie for 1st.
Daddy, how much to the right do you think this is going to break?
I think it's just off the hole, Andy.
Okay. We saw him hit a couple of putts back at 12 and 13 that he didn't like.
No, they were kind of hopeful putts.
Yeah. But the last few holes, he's made some really nice strokes. But they've been from, longer distances.
Yeah.
Aaron Jarvis is dying.
There's a whole lot of people out here holding their breath, I can promise you.
Vicente Marcilio from Argentina. This for Eagle to tie for the lead and force a playoff. That's it. That is
Too hard.
time to celebrate Aaron Jarvis of the Cayman Islands. 19 years old, is the 2022 Latin America Amateur Champion. Just a gut-wrenching final hole. Biondi with a chance, missed. Marcilio with a chance, he missed. And Aaron Jarvis is going to Augusta National. He's going to St. Andrews for the 150th Open. He'll have a chance to qualify for the U.S. Open at the Country Club at Brookline. And now this for Eagle, and just slides by on the right. So birdie for Roberto Nieves of Puerto Rico. And in all, a pretty good week. He was the 54-hole leader. And Nieves backs up with 2 over 74 today. But a player to keep an eye on.
Every time you put yourself in this position, you learn something. Sometimes it's not great things, but you learn something, and he'll be better for that experience.
Okay.
4-way tie for second, 1 shot behind.
71, 1 under for Vicente Marcilio. Jarvis, 1669th in the world. And I think back to what Chairman Ridley said earlier this week. These championships, the Asia Pacific Amateur, the Latin America Amateur Championship, continually introducing new players on the scene. Hideki, when he won the Asia Pacific more than a decade ago, was outside the top 500. And that just catches the edge. Marcilio.
He had a terrific putt, just a little teeny bit firm. Still caught a lot of the hole. I'm guessing that when it was a foot short, he thought he'd made it. But what a great feeling for Aaron Jarvis.
And Jarvis started the day 4 under par. And it didn't take a whole lot. It didn't take a lights out round, Andy. Just a really good round of 69.
Well, that was a good round. And I think that really the turning point, he made a bogey at 8 and a double bogey at 9 to turn even par after being 3 under, and then went out and played 3 under in the back 9.
He has a busy schedule all of the sudden in 2022, and we will come back with the trophy presentation as Aaron Jarvis of the Cayman Islands has won the 2022 Latin America Amateur Championship. Aaron Jarvis, 19 years old from the Cayman Islands, a freshman, and a promising one at that at UNLV. Began this day 3 shots back, and he wins by 1. A dramatic final round. Biondi had a chance. Birdie at 18. He missed. Marcilio had a reasonably short eagle putt. He missed. De La Fuente 3-putted the 18th, and this was the one. It just burns the edge. A little too much pace. And with that, Aaron Jarvis of the Cayman Islands outside the top 1,600 in the world. Congratulations from Masters Tournament Chairman Fred Ridley and Lee Steislinger. It was nice to see the members in the green jackets. One of many signs of support the membership has for this event. And let's go down to John Sutcliffe.
Muchas gracias, Rich, with Aaron Jarvis. Just describe what you're feeling right now.
Honestly, I mean, I can't even put into words how I'm feeling right now. It's unbelievable. I think in a few hours, I think it will all kick in. I mean, what a day.
If you can get a little closer to the microphone. It's a life-changing moment. You're going to get a lot of invitations that people dream when you were a little kid. What does it mean? What's coming ahead?
Man, it means the world to me. Like, the opportunities of going to the Masters, playing the British Open. No other kid, young golfer, dreams of anything else but going to that tournament. And I can't wait. It's going to be amazing.
Growing the game in Cayman Islands?
I hope so. I hope to grow the game and get more kids involved and hopefully represent the country well.
Damas y caballeros, ladies and gentlemen, now we have to give that precioso trofeo, that beautiful trophy will be handed out by the chairman of the R&A, el señor Ian Patterson. Congratulations, Aaron.
Thank you.
Rich, it's been a great week. Back to you.
Thank you, John, and well done. Congratulations to Aaron Jarvis. Every session on the range the next few months, every college tournament he plays, he will be thinking in some way about Augusta National, the shots that he'll hit maybe at 13, at 16, shots that he'll hit at St. Andrews, at the Road Hole. I mean, his whole life has changed, Andy.
What a summer he has ahead of him. I would hope that he'll be able to get up there and play a few practice rounds at Augusta National before the Masters.
And that is one of the benefits of having earned an invitation. And this reminder, Ohio State Rutgers women's college basketball will be shown at the conclusion of this Latin America Amateur Championship. We have a little bit more to do, a little bit more to say from this Caribbean paradise, Casa de Campo in the Dominican Republic. Back with more and our happy champion in just a moment. And what an entertaining and dramatic final round here at the Latin America Amateur Championship from Pete Dye's world-famous Teeth of the Dog at Casa de Campo in the Dominican Republic. You see Vicente Marcilio in that four-way tie for second place behind the winner, Aaron Jarvis. Had his chance for eagle at 18, burned the left edge. Vicente is now with Dottie Pepper.
Here with Vicente. It's such an emotional time, obviously, for you. You fought back like a champion, but what was running through your mind as you had that putt for eagle at the last?
Yeah, it was very emotional.
Go ahead and breathe deep.
Yeah, I was fighting the whole day, waiting for that putt to fall, and I was, so happy to give me a chance on 18. And then I tried to hit the best putt I could. It was a tough one. It was an easy one, and I'm just really happy to have given me that chance after that lucky kick on 18 on that sprinkle head. But it's really tough because the competition is really hard, and it just comes down to one shot, And there was a lot in play, and I'm sure I'm gonna give him another chance in the future.
Well, thank you for sharing your heart with us, and well done this week.
Thanks.
John.
Young people pouring everything they have into what they do, into reaching a goal so close. Andy, you know it. You don't understand real joy until you've experienced that kind of disappointment. So much gratitude, Andy. I know you feel this way for the way we've been treated this week so warmly by our Dominican host from this special resort, Casa de Campo, Andres Pichardo, and his incomparable team from the Dominican Golf Federation, Carlos El Mudizi. We look forward to coming back to Casa. It does feel like home here. To Chairman Ridley and all the dedicated people at Augusta National for their commitment to elevating this game and all that is good about it, all that we just saw on display in the last hour, here and around the world. To Martin Slumbers of the R&A and his team, not just governing the game here in Latin America, but investing in it. To Mike Wan of the USGA and his group, bringing their expertise to these championships to ensure that they are played in the finest conditions and conducted to the highest standards. I really enjoyed this, always do, being alongside you.
Thanks, Rich, and this is what it's all about. This is great young men working hard to become better, and there's hearts broken, and there's great prizes at the end of the day.
Well said. Great thanks to producer Sellers Shy and director Mike Rowe, leading all of the hardworking women and men in the box and on the ground. For my friend and partner Andy North, Dottie Pepper, Colt Knost, and John Sutcliffe, I'm Rich Lerner, saying so long from the Latin America Amateur Championship in the Dominican Republic. Aaron Jarvis has won the LAAC.